Times referees ruin the NBA. From ejecting the wrong player and blowing crucial calls to messing up a team's championship chances. These are times refs ruin the NBA. We gotta start with one of the most ridiculous ejections in the history of the NBA. Back in the day, Rasheed Wallace, the OG of tech fouls, got ejected just for giving the ref a look. Yeah, that's right. The ref was so scared of Sheed's stare that he kicked him out of the game with a tech.
Timeout LA. Whack! Get out!
Now, Sheed's no stranger to getting teased, but this one is just ridiculous. Even his teammate Steve Smith was like, "Hold up, ref, are you serious right now?" But the ref was like, "Yup, Sheed was trying to intimidate me with his gaze." Come on, man, that's some weak sauce from the ref right there.
He didn't say nothing. Get away from me, Steve. Get away from me, Steve. He didn't say a word. Technical foul, Wallace. He's gone. No, not right. I asked him 3 times to stop staring at me, try to intimidate me. I'm done. He's gone.
That was a crazy call, but hold up. We have to talk about this week's sauce foul call, because this one might just take the cake for the worst call of the season. Anthony Edwards was about to pull off the sickest play of the season. Like, we're talking game-changing, highlight reel stuff. And just as he's delivered the slam payload of a lifetime, the refs ruined everything. I mean, Anthony's booty was way above the other dude's head and was literally defying gravity. And then bam, the refs blow the whistle like it's no big deal. Like, what? My man was probably heartbroken. I mean, who wouldn't be after getting robbed of such an iconic moment?
Was that a charge?
The Zebras, man, I don't know. If I'm refereeing that game and you dunk on someone like that, I'm not calling a charge.
However, that was merely a single play. How about sabotaging a game-changing moment? Challenge accepted. And that's exactly what happened to Damian Lillard. It was so bad that Dame was almost in tears.
Crosses the game, man.
Everybody, and I mean everybody, except the damn refs, knew that shot should have counted. Even the other team was like, "Yo, that was a foul. What's up with the call?" It was a total bummer, because that could have been one of Dame's iconic Dame time moments. But nope, the refs just had to go and ruin everything.
With Portland down 2, Lillard splits the D, drives, and looks like it should have been a goaltend. It should have been a goaltend. No call. That absolutely looked like it should have been a goaltend. Absolutely 100% was a goaltend.
Now that's crazy, but you know what's even crazier? Well, when the refs straight up ruin a whole game. And that's exactly what happened when LeBron James and the Lakers went up against the Celtics. The Lakers were well outside of the 2023 playoff spot and needed the game badly. But shit got real in the final seconds with the scores tied. At first, we were all like, damn, LeBron choked again. But then, with a closer look, Tatum straight up slapped LeBron's hand while trying to block his game-winning layup attempt. And the ref was right there and didn't do a damn thing about it. That's when the Lakers lost their shit. I mean, LeBron lost his shit completely on national TV and even got Pat Bev stealing cameras just to prove that the ref had messed up. But even with the evidence, there was no call. But in the end, it didn't even matter, because the Celtics still managed to blow them out in overtime. That was a total mess. But hey, maybe we might have to start a riot or something for the refs to get their act together.
You think you made contact with him?
The last 2 minutes of overtime, it was a blur.
Stop the cap.
That missed call was insane, but it's nothing compared to the time the refs handed the Bucks a win they didn't even deserve. So Westbrook ties the game, right? And we're all like, okay, this is about to get intense. But then Giannis makes this crazy play down the other end, and somehow the refs just let it slide. I mean, did he pay them off or what? Giannis straight up stepped out of bounds, and these refs were blind as bats. I mean, the dude was legit right there, and they still didn't see it. Like, come on, man.
Antetokounmpo, checked by Eustace. He'll drive. His scores.
Officiating. He's out of bounds.
Clearly, he stepped out of bounds. We should be going to overtime.
And you know what's even worse? They cost OKC the game. No cap, it's a fact. Next up, let's run it back to 2007, when NBA referee Joe Crawford made the most outrageous call ever. It all went down in a game between the San Antonio Spurs and the Dallas Mavericks. Out of nowhere, Crawford just hit Tim Duncan with a technical foul for laughing, and he wasn't even in the game. What the heck, man? Crawford claimed that Duncan had cussed him out, but when Duncan started clapping and laughing after the Mavs missed their free throw, Crawford just couldn't take it anymore. So he called another tech on Duncan and kicked him out of the game. Later, Duncan revealed what went down and said that Crawford challenged him to a fist fight? What? The NBA tossed Crawford off duty for the rest of the season and hit him with a $100,000 fine. But hey, Duncan also got hit with a $25,000 fine for verbally abusing the ref.
A pause. There he misses the free throw. And a technical foul call. I think it's on Tim Duncan sitting on the bench. Somebody on the bench for the Spurs. Yep, it's Duncan, who is unhappy with the lack of a call or a call earlier. And he said something to Joe Crawford. Now, Crawford, as we said, one of the best in the business. He also has maybe the quickest technical in the NBA of all the officials. That's the second technical, which is an automatic ejection. As we've been showing you, Duncan's been laughing. Maybe Crawford felt he was showing him up by constantly laughing.
Regardless though, Duncan took the beef so personally, he turned dude into a Halloween costume. I don't blame him though. Joey Crawford, the ref we love to hate, is back at it again with another controversial call. This time it's Game 7 of the 2005 Eastern Conference Finals between the Detroit Pistons and the Miami Heat. Pistons are on fire in the closing minutes, mounting a comeback in the fourth quarter, and Crawford straight up body checks Miami's Damon Jones himself, causing him to go out of bounds. But instead of owning up to it, Crawford calls a foul on Billups and gives Jones 2 free throws. Can you believe that? Luckily for Crawford, the Pistons won. But if they didn't, we'd never hear the end of it. Blame it on the player. Typical move, Crawford.
Damon Jones able to race it down. And contact made. Joe Crawford indicating, let's see. Is it a foul?
Now, we gotta talk about one of the most epic NBA games in recent history. It was the Rockets vs. Warriors, 2 absolute titans of the game. Everyone knew it was gonna be a nail-biter, but what we didn't know was that the refs were gonna pull one of the dumbest mistakes in NBA history. So, here's what went down. The game was tied at 132 in overtime, with the Warriors in possession. KD gets the ball, drives to the basket, gets it knocked away, but then chases down the loose ball and saves it from going out of bounds. Except he was basically in the parking lot when he did it. His feet were so far out of bounds, he might as well have been ice skating. And yet the refs didn't call it. The entire NBA was clowning them, and even KD himself knew they were stupid.
Did you know how far out of bounds you were?
Oh, yeah.
Could you believe you didn't get the whistle?
I can believe it because the ref missed a lot, so you can easily fool.
But don't worry, fam. The basketball gods were watching over us that day. The Rockets got the ball back, and who else but Harden himself to come through in the clutch. He called game, and we all breathed a sigh of relief. Unfortunately, the refs aren't always so kind to our boy Harden. Sometimes they get in the way of his passes.
It hits the referee.
And sometimes they straight up ruin the game for him. Just check this out. That definitely should have counted. And the whole world was like, what? At the time, those 2 points may have seemed unimportant because the Rockets were already up by 13. But in the end, well, they lost the game by that mere 2 points.
Harden the steal and the dash. Oh, he goes it!
Yeah, it makes you wonder, what if the refs had counted that dunk? Who knows what could have gone down? Just saying. Yo, back in 2006, Vince Carter and the New Jersey Nets hit up Toronto to play against the Raptors, where Vince had once played earlier in his career. It was a tight game, 51-47, when this happened. Peterson got ejected from the game. Crazy, right? And to add insult to injury, it was Vince who should have been thrown out of the game for starting it. It's one of the most ridiculous calls in NBA history. But get this, Peterson and Carter are actually homies, and we're just messing around.
This is tailor-made right now. Now what do we have? Is Peterson?
I mean, you can't blame a bro for a little friendly smack, can you? Speaking of which, how about you give that subscription button a friendly smack? Not only will you get notified when we eject our latest videos, but you'll also be part of the coolest crew around. So come on, don't be shy, hit that button. And let's just be homies, just like Peterson and Vince Carter. So what are you waiting for? Smash that button now without hesitation. Now, listen up. We gotta talk about a time when the refs ruined an entire NBA playoff series. Back in 2018, the Thunder and the Jazz were going at it in Game 6, and the stakes were high. OKC was down 3-2, and it was do or die time for them. Paul George was ready to save the day and keep his team's season alive, but what happened next was straight up ridiculous. PG got fouled on a 3-point shot attempt, and the refs made the right call, awarding him 3 free throws. But wait, there's more. The refs then went and reviewed the play and reversed the call, taking away the chance for George to tie the game and maybe even win it for his team. Like, what the heck, refs? But that's not all, folks. On the very next possession, George attempted another 3-pointer, and once again, he got fouled. But did the refs call it? Nope. They just looked at him like he was crazy.
Now here he comes around Paul George. Got Gobert up in the air, didn't get the foul call. Oh, ball.
I mean, that's a bad shot, right? Excuse me? Did you not see the defender all up in his face? Long story short, the Thunder lost the game thanks to the refs' questionable officiating. Who knows how far they could have gone if the refs had made the right calls? It's almost like there's a PG curse haunting Paul George. As crazy as that was, this next one is a total dumpster fire of an NBA game. Kings vs. Lakers, Game 6 Western Conference Finals in 2002. The Lakers and Kings hated each other back in the day. We're talking punches to the face, near brawls, and all sorts of bad blood. But this game took it to a whole new level. The Kings were up 3-2, and the series was filled with stars. But according to ref Tim Donaghy, the NBA wanted to milk this cow a bit longer. And boy, did they ever. The Lakers went to the free throw line an insane 40 times, while the Kings only got 25 attempts. But the real kicker was the fourth quarter, where the Lakers shot 27 free throws to the Kings' 9. That's not even fair. Kobe elbowed Mike Bibby in the face and didn't get called. Shaq pushed Vlade Divac around and somehow got the call in his favor. It was a hot mess. Don't get me wrong, Donaghy's a sketchy dude, and you can't trust everything he says, but it's pretty clear that Game 6 was an absolute mess made by the refs, and it was as if it was the Kings versus the refs. Damn, at least the Kings did not get heartbroken in the finals, because this time, the refs ruined a team's championship chances. Michael Jordan, the GOAT, was always getting away with anything he wanted, because the refs were too scared to call him out. But the most obvious time they let him slide was during the 1998 NBA Finals. Everyone knew Jordan never let a championship series go to Game 7. And with the Bulls up 3-2, nobody wanted to risk ending his winning streak. Especially not the refs. The Jazz were putting up a good fight, staying in the lead with a chance to win the game. But then the refs made a crucial mistake. Check out Jordan's hand all over his defender, sending the guy flying. This play has been a hot controversy since it happened, with many saying it was a push-off and should have been an offensive foul. Even Brian Russell, the guy who got pushed off, admitted it was a push-off. And even Jordan's legendary teammate John Stockton admitted it was a push-off.
Did Michael Jordan push off?
The refs didn't call it.
Doubt he pushed off.
Watch Jordan's left hand here as he gives Russell the push. Referee can't see that.
Everybody say I pushed off. Bullshit. The man his energy was going that way. I didn't have to push him that way.
And it led to one of the most iconic shots in NBA history. Speaking of iconic shots, that's exactly what you'll find in our next video. Steph Curry's greatest three-pointers. Trust me, these shots are straight fire, and you don't want to miss it.